Hello, my name is Lisa Blauvelt, and this is my initial post for my discussion one assignment. Before this week's assignment, I had never really taken the time to analyze the meaning of Western civilization. Yes, I was aware that historians have considered to be Western civilization could have been a concept developed to cover ideas throughout much of Europe, South America, and North America, but I really didn't think much past it being part of a geographic reasoning until now. And I had assumed that the European historical lens was kind of at play here, that it was Europeans who thought that they had great ideas and those ideas had spread. And so, thus, they just gave a blanket term of Western civilization. But after completing the required readings and listening to the lecture and discussing the topic with my colleagues, I realized that the need to label Western civilization really comes from groups that uphold individual freedoms rather than a geographic camaraderie. When historians focus on the people who are believed to have promoted political ideals that support individual freedoms, like both Bradley J. Berzer in What Exactly is the West and Kwame Anthony Appiah in There's No Such Thing as Western Civilization, really these historians have looked into the evolution of Christendom and then Europe and then Western civilization. It was the legacy of freedom that we value today that moved through these eras and these places. Upon first researching this topic, I discovered that the initial distinction of ideas can really be seen as early as the 100s, as Christianity began to spread from the Middle East and across present day Europe. Early Christians found a need to identify themselves apart from Muslims, Vikings, Jews, other polytheistic groups, and animistic groups. Christendom really identified specific issues that the rival groups didn't touch upon. According to the New Testament and the teachings of Jesus Christ, God had given ultimate freedom from sin, gave eternal life to people who followed him. And as the church and Christianity spread, the meaning of freedom changed and expanded and developed into secular sense. And that could be applied to all people despite their religious preferences. Then Enlightenment thought sparked a new interest in Roman and Greek philosophy, which had already emphasized personal freedom. And this freedom could be found in self mastery, according to Alexander Rosenthal Pupil. During this time, there was a shift from this moral and spiritual freedom that was found in Christendom. And it changed and it sparked the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation was changing what it meant to worship, what it meant to be free in Christianity, and it even moved to how can we apply this to politics? What did it mean to have human freedom? The ideals of the Enlightenment philosophers grabbed the attention of the New World in the Western Hemisphere, and the values set forth these thinkers to become the basis of various revolutions throughout the Americas. Thus, it expanded this idea of freedom, what we would now consider to be Western civilization, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. Today, it's imperative that historians take time to understand the studies of Western civilization, because out of these ideologies, contemporaries can continue the legacies of Christendom, Europe, and West by upholding the political, spiritual, economic, and social freedoms associated with its history. According to Alexander Rosenthal Pupil, in Reflections on Ancient and Modern Freedom, Western civilization can really be boiled down into the characterization of people who value freedom. And as a female historian, I take a particular interest in studying the struggles and achievements of our foremothers, especially in Western civilizations. And Daniel Hannan mentioned that much of history remembers Paul Revere, for example, but much of the world forgets the other writers, just like Sybil Ludington. Western civilization may have ignored these rights of women, and there's a lot of flaws with Western civilization. But that freedom and legacy, as a historian, I'm going to ensure that these historical figures are going to have that freedom. And I'm going to rewrite women into academic conversation as I move forward as a historian. Thank you.